Here we go. Christian here with cheap beat up Elvis vinyl. What's that? Oh, this cup? You wondering what this is? Well, it's just a little Elvis cup you got right here. Elvis Presley on the front. And this was a special gift that you got when you bought the Elvis cologne back in the 1990s. At some department store, maybe Dillard's or one of those in the mall. And it came in a little box set. Kind of looked like this. So you get your little Elvis cup and your Elvis cologne. I know I kept I had the cologne bottle, which was empty. I had it for years, but I can't find it. But I do still have the mug, so cheers, Elvis. Picked up some nice new additions to the cheap beat up Elvis vinyl collection. Went down to one of my favorite stores. Seems like just yesterday. Yeah, I remember it. That was awesome. All right, here we are at Black Flower Records. Used to be called Retro Records. They told me they got some Elvis. Let's see what they got. Looks like they added a new row up in here. All right, let's see what they got here. Almost in Love. Worldwide Hits. Hey, look at this guy. What does that look 70s? Volume 2. Volume 1. Songs of Inspiration. Yeah. Pure Gold. See those a lot. Potluck. I've been looking for a potluck for a long time. Nice. Spin out with a sticker. All right. All these are Elvis, so let's see. Got the double. Pure Gold. Christmas. This one's in good shape. You see this has the Doppler modification where you can take it out of the top. Okay, good. Concert Christmas. Almost in Love. Pickwick. Concert, it's, yep, a Brookville. Satellite. 2 record set. Quadra disc, there you go. Burning Love, Pickwick. Alright. You'll Never Walk Alone. And they could have come up with a better picture on that cover, I think, but what you gonna do? All right. It's a Christmas with an awful lot of... Elvis is 26 years old. The record was made... Huh. A lot of little stuff written on here. He was greatly loved. I shall always remember Elvis. He is the greatest. I love him. Lucille McNally. Huh. I might have to get that one just because of that. Alright, let's see this one on the stage. Oh, we've got another Walk Alone. GI Blues. Oh, another one from Lucille. I recognize her handwriting. Elvis Presley, Always Remember, by Lucille. It's a living stereo. Old ones with the RCA logo on it. It's a mono. Pickwick Christmas album. Camden Christmas album. Kind of in close quarters here, so I can't get too far back. Let's be friends. All right. Nice selection. Let's see what I'll get. So let's see what I picked up. First, I got this one. Elvis Worldwide Gold Award Hits, Part 3 and 4. Now, if you remember, originally this came out as a 4-disc box set, a little thin box set. And then they released the Parts 1 and 2. And here is when they came out with Parts 3 and 4. This came out in 1978. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, some of you guys will know this, so put it in the comments because I'd like to make sure. But from what I can understand, this was only available as an RCA Record Club selection. Those are the things that would be in like the middle of TV Guide. They'd have a big ad, and you could go and pick the ones you want, get like 10 for a nickel. So this, I was glad to come across this one. I hadn't seen it yet. This Part 3 and 4 came out in 1978, which breaks my personal rule. I don't like to buy stuff from after Elvis passed, but since that was Part 3 and 4 from the Part 1 and 2, which came out while he was alive, and the box set which came out while he was alive, I couldn't pass it up. Same with this one. This one also came out in 1978. Boy, does that look like 1978, huh? Disco. Really cool. Elvis Legendary Concert Performance. This, from what I understand, also was RCA Record Club only. And I know when you're looking at this, you're saying, wow, that's really some cool artwork. Very 70s. But that picture looks a little familiar. Just a little bit familiar. I'm thinking I might have seen it before. Just don't know where. I wonder where they could have gotten that from. Next up, Elvis Pure Gold. This must have sold a gazillion copies because I see tons of these around. And when I first started my collection, I would pick up Elvis albums for $1. So I would just buy all the ones that I saw, and then I'd get home and see what I have. So I'll probably have like 3, maybe 4 of this one. But this is the first one I had that is the Best Buy series. This is a little series that they did. This came out in November of 1980. Now, the Pure Gold album came out in 1975, but this Best Buy series was something that they did in 1980. And you see it's printed right there on the sleeve. It's not a sticker. So the only other one that I have that's a Best Buy is an 8-track. So they obviously did it on the 8-tracks too. Elvis, His Songs of Inspiration. Now, I had this, but I only had the cover. And from what I understand, this was the bonus disc with the Elvis Presley story, which was a big, beautiful box set. And you notice there's nothing on the spine. And so that leads me to believe it's a candlelight music, which those box sets were. And so I was glad to pick this one up because this one has the record in it. So I can let this one ride alongside the box set. And look at that picture. That looks a little familiar too. I'm not sure. Wonder where I might have seen that picture. It's kind of like, well, that's the same picture. They just flipped it. Interesting how they just kept reusing the stuff. But that's okay. Because it's Elvis Presley. And if the picture was good the first time you used it, well, it's going to be good the second time you use it. Because it's a good picture. Now, this next one I've been looking for quite a while. Potluck. Let me take this out of the sleeve. It's kind of annoying. This one came out in June of 1962. The back, this is the type of advertising that really attracted me to collecting Elvis records. You see, it's got 4 of his other albums. They're pumping His Hand in Mine, Blue Hawaii, Something for Everybody, GI Blues, and then down here they're pumping the Follow That Dream EP. Another great original soundtrack, 4 great songs, now available on 45 RPM. Beautiful. The only complaint I have with this is the mono version. The only complaint I have is, I don't know, Elvis's hair just kind of, it's a little puffy, son. And then the beautiful potluck artwork. But I'm really glad that I finally got a copy of this. You see, it's real beat up. Somebody put Scotch tape around all the sides to keep it together. But that's just fine with me. And let's see. Yep, it's an old dog on top. 33 1/3. Beautiful. Love it. Let's see what the inner sleeve is on this, if there's anything on the inner sleeve. Nope, just an old white inner sleeve. Well, it was originally white. Now it's faded to yellow. This next one, I was surprised to pick this up. I had the mono version of it. Came out in October of '66. Spin Out. I had the mono, but this is the stereo. And this one has the hype sticker on it. Now, someone answer this for me if you know it. In 1966, when this came out, were they already shrink wrapping Elvis's records? Because the early ones, as you know, came in bags. They called them RCA bags. And they didn't start shrink wrapping them until sometime in the 60s. So my point is, how did this sticker get on here? Did someone meticulously peel it off of the shrink wrap? That's very hard to do. And then put it back on here? Or were these still in the RCA bags and either the factory or the people at the record store put the little hype sticker on it? Not quite sure, but I sure was happy to get hold of it. First of all, it's a stereo. My version was a mono, and this one has the little sticker on it. It didn't have the full color photo of Elvis up in here, but you take it one step at a time. Is what you would have. You start where you are and you move ahead. So now I have the one with a hype sticker. Next up, On Stage, February 1970. Now, I already had a copy of this one, but this was a slight variation. And when I say slight, this is one of the slightest variations that I've come across. The Stay Away and Stay Away Joe, that's a slight variation, but let me know if you think this is an even slighter variation. February 1970. Okay, you see on the back here, it has stereo LSP 43 On Stage, February 1970 in red. The stereo is in white, 1970s in red. Now here's the other copy that I have of it. Both of those lines are in red. Is that the hair-splittingest variation that you're going to come across? Let me know what you think. I was happy to get it. This one came out in June of 1970. Recorded in February of 70. Boy, they knocked them out. Recorded in February. By June, it's on your turntable. Now here's the last one that I got. This is a very weird one. Okay. Almost in Love. I like this record. It's a good record. I like it. Some people don't, but I like it. This was released in November of 1970. Okay? This pressing is in 1971. But if you look at the back, it's a 1971 back from the Elvis Christmas LP. See, it says right there, Elvis Christmas album. And it's got all the Christmas songs listed. And then down here, it shows Almost in Love, which is this album. And when you pull the album out, it is Almost in Love.
So this is just some type of misprint. This isn't a variant. But I couldn't pass it up for two reasons. One, because that was so odd. Now you see the back was just a big sticker, a big decal. They weren't printed front and back. They had the front printed and then the back was attached. You can feel little ridges right there. So somehow they just screwed up and this got put on the back. That's one reason I bought it. The second reason was, see, it's Camden, Almost in Love. But this is the granddaddy of all Dynaflexes. This is the thinnest record I have ever come across. Just fooling with it, I'm afraid that it may break. Remember when that happened on an earlier episode? But so that's the two reasons that I picked those up. Had a real blast. Went down at Black Flower and picked those up. Those guys are always great. Howard and Davis, wonderful guys over there. If you're ever in Covington, Louisiana, or around Covington, Louisiana, go check it out. Black Flower Records and Apparel. Go check it out. We also picked up a box of something from them, which I'm going to show you on a future episode. A whole box full of stuff. He said, Christian, you want this? It was a full box. Yeah, I took it. Anyway, hope you had fun. I had a blast. Go out there and pick you up some cheap, beat-up Elvis vinyl. You don't have to spend a ton of money on it. If you want to, that's fine. If you want to just get sealed stuff, or you want to get first editions, first pressings, that's great. But you can just get this stuff like I get, the beat-up, cheap stuff, and you still can enjoy all of the artwork. Get yourself a little turntable. You can be digging on the wonderful warm sound of when that needle hits the vinyl. Till we see you again, there's only one thing I can say to you. America's had a whole bunch of presidents, lots of governors, tons of mayors, but we only had one king, baby. Thank you, Elvis.
Okay, fine.